He swapped his immaculate suit for a faded blue uniform and bought a simple cap to hide his face. His polished CEO image had disappeared, replaced by the figure of an ordinary worker. Logan Pierce was a man of success. As the founder of Aurora Energy Innovations, a renewable energy company based in Austin, Texas, he had achieved what many considered the pinnacle of corporate success. His name was respected, his company was profitable, and his impact on the industry was undeniable. But lately, Logan felt that something was wrong. Sitting alone in his spacious office overlooking the Colorado River, he reflected. Piles of reports gleamed on his laptop screen, showcasing profit growth and impressive metrics, but those numbers no longer satisfied him. He felt an increasing emptiness, a disconnection that no achievement or accolade could fill. He was surrounded by data, but not by people. Do I really know my team? He wondered. Logan thought about his roots. He had grown up in Detroit, a city marked by both struggle and resilience. His mother, Evelyn, worked grueling shifts as a janitor to support their family. She was a woman of unwavering strength, but Logan never forgot the weariness in her eyes. He always remembered her saying, "Every job has dignity, Logan. But not everyone sees it." This memory sparked an audacious idea in his mind. He needed to do more than manage the company. He needed to see reality through the eyes of his employees, feel what they felt, and truly understand what happened in the hallways and break rooms that fueled his vision. Logan made a decision. He would disguise himself as a maintenance worker for a week. This wasn't just an experiment to investigate the company's culture. It was a chance to test the values he claimed to uphold. He wanted to discover if his team saw Aurora the way he did, as a place of growth, respect, and collaboration. That night, as Austin glowed under the city lights, Logan mapped out his plan. He swapped his immaculate suit for a faded blue uniform and bought a simple cap to hide his face. When he looked at his reflection in the mirror, he barely recognized the man staring back. His polished CEO image had disappeared, replaced by the figure of an ordinary worker. Early Monday morning, Logan walked through the glass doors of his own company, pushing a worn tool cart. He felt the weight of his decision as no one greeted him or even glanced in his direction. For the first time, he wasn't Logan Pierce, the visionary. He was just another worker, invisible in a sea of busy people. As he pushed the cart through the pristine hallways, Logan felt the strangeness of his new role. He knew the real test lay ahead. How would his team treat him? Were the values he championed truly alive in the heart of his company? Logan Pierce was about to find out. Logan pushed his tool cart through the halls of Aurora Energy Innovations, carefully observing everything around him. He was now Mike, the new maintenance worker. The feeling of anonymity was unsettling. In the past, walking through the same building as CEO, his steps were followed by attentive gazes, formal greetings, and hushed conversations. Now, employees passed by him as if he were part of the furniture. At first, Logan expected some indifference. After all, who noticed someone fixing doors or adjusting coffee machines? But what began as casual observation soon revealed something deeper. While cleaning near the open co-working space, he overheard a conversation between two interns. "Have you seen the break room?" one asked, laughing. "I don't even want to. This new maintenance guy is a disaster," the other replied, not even lowering his voice. The words hit Logan hard. It wasn't just disdain. There was a coldness in the way they spoke. He realized that, for many, the behind-the-scenes work was simply invisible, or worse, irrelevant. On Tuesday, while fixing the coffee machine in the break room, the situation worsened. A group of engineers gathered nearby, laughing at something on their phones. Logan kept working, but he couldn't help overhearing a comment that struck him like a blow. "You'd think they'd hire someone younger for this stuff, right? This guy looks like he's going to fall apart any second," said Travis Cook, an ambitious engineer known for his competitive streak. The group burst into laughter. Logan kept his focus on the task, but inside, he felt a mixture of disappointment and frustration. He had built Aurora to be more than this. Where was the respect he expected among team members? As the days went by, Logan began to notice a pattern. Many employees ignored him or treated him dismissively, but there were exceptions. He observed small gestures that revealed the true character of some individuals. A quick smile from a project manager, a timid offer of help from a nervous intern. Despite these glimpses of humanity, Logan couldn't shake the growing sense that his company had lost its way. He had invested so much in performance metrics, cutting-edge technology, and innovation, but it seemed the human element was being left behind. On Wednesday, something unexpected happened. While cleaning the windows in a rarely used meeting room, he heard someone walk in. Turning, he saw a young woman of average height, her warm smile and brightly colored thermos catching his attention. "Need a hand?" she asked, tilting her head and glancing at the heavy bucket of tools at his feet. Logan hesitated, surprised by her kindness. "No, thank you. It's just part of the job." "Really?" she replied, raising an eyebrow as she eyed the bucket. "I bet you haven't taken a break since you started. Here, have some coffee. It's from my thermos, but I promise it's good." Logan took the thermos, still surprised by the unexpected kindness. "Thanks. I'm Kate, from customer support," she said, extending her hand. Logan shook it, noting the genuine look in her eyes. "Mike, maintenance," he replied, keeping up his cover. Kate laughed. "You're new here, right? I used to help my mom with maintenance work. I know people don't always notice the hard work behind the scenes, but I want you to know it's appreciated." Kate's words stayed with Logan long after she left. As he sipped the warm coffee, he felt something he hadn't in a long time: hope. It wasn't something measurable in reports or charts, but it was real and tangible. At that moment, Logan realized his experience as Mike was revealing more than just flaws. It was showing him the potential for what his company could become. With renewed determination, he returned to his work, now focused not just on uncovering issues but on finding the sparks of humanity that could transform Aurora. On Thursday morning, Logan returned to work as Mike, but something inside him had shifted. Kate's gesture, simple as it was, had given him a new perspective. He was no longer just observing his company's culture. He was starting to understand the profound impact that small acts of kindness could have. As he pushed his tool cart through the hallways, Logan watched everything with a sharper eye. He noticed subtle interactions, brief smiles, quick exchanges, or moments of disconnection. Above all, he searched for more people like Kate, individuals who carried kindness and empathy with them, even in a system that often overlooked such values. Early in the afternoon, Logan was called to fix a leaky faucet in a small kitchen on the second floor. The space was rarely used except by a few customer support employees who preferred to take their breaks away from the busy main break room. When Logan arrived, Kate was there again, leaning over a table, typing on her laptop, her familiar brightly colored thermos beside her. "Hey, Mike," she said, glancing up with a warm smile. "You seem to be everywhere." "Maintenance work, you know how it is," Logan replied with a faint smile as he got to work on the faucet. As he adjusted the faucet, Kate spoke up. "You know, I was thinking about something yesterday. Sometimes it feels like companies like this focus so much on technology and numbers that they forget about the people. What do you think?" Logan paused for a moment, absorbing her words. As Mike, he couldn't reveal his true identity, but Kate's honesty encouraged him. "I think you're right," he said, his tone reflective. "If people don't feel valued, nothing else really matters." Kate nodded, looking out the window thoughtfully. "My mom always said that even the smallest kindness can make a big difference. Maybe that's why I like working here, despite the challenges. I try to be that kindness for others." Logan finished fixing the faucet, but Kate's words lingered in his mind. That young woman, in a role that rarely received recognition, had captured exactly what he felt was missing at Aurora. Later that day, as he observed the corridors and offices, Logan began forming a plan. He knew his time as Mike was coming to an end, but he didn't want his discoveries to end with it. Something needed to change, not just processes or metrics, but the very heart of his company's culture. On Friday, as Logan completed his final day undercover, he encountered Kate one last time. This time, he was in the lobby, pushing his now empty tool cart back to storage. She was heading out for the weekend, carrying her bag and her trusty thermos. "Hey, Mike," she said, stopping when she saw him. "Got any fun plans for the weekend?" Logan hesitated for a moment, then smiled. He pulled a small envelope from his pocket and handed it to her. "It's not much, but I wanted to thank you for the coffee and the conversation. It meant more than you know." Kate looked surprised but carefully took the envelope. "Wow, thanks. You didn't have to do that. Sometimes people need to hear that they make a difference. Have a great weekend." Logan said goodbye, feeling a mix of nervousness and satisfaction. He knew the envelope contained much more than a simple thank you. On Monday morning, Logan would return to his rightful place as CEO of Aurora Energy Innovations. But he also knew that nothing would ever be the same again. He had found the spark he was searching for, and now it was time to turn it into a flame that could light up the entire company. On Monday morning, Kate Thompson arrived at work as she always did, carrying her colorful thermos and her usual calm smile. But something felt different. The envelope Mike had given her on Friday remained unopened in her bag. She hadn't mustered the courage to open it over the weekend, assuming it was just a simple thank you note or perhaps a farewell. The day began like any other until just before lunch, when Kate received an unexpected email. It was an invitation to the executive boardroom on the 22nd floor. The message was brief, with no explanation, but it was signed directly by Logan Pierce, the company's CEO. Her heart raced. She had never set foot on that floor, much less interacted with Logan himself. When she arrived at the boardroom, Kate hesitated before pushing the heavy glass door open. Inside, Logan was seated at the head of the long table, looking at her with a warm yet confident smile. He wore a sharp suit, a stark contrast to the man she had met as Mike. "Mr. Pierce?" Kate stammered, her eyes wide with surprise. Logan stood and gestured for her to take a seat. "Please, call me Logan. I have something important to share with you." Confused, Kate sat down, still trying to process what was happening. Logan began speaking, his voice sincere and steady. "Last week, you interacted with a maintenance worker named Mike. What you didn't know is that Mike was me." Kate blinked, utterly stunned. "Wait, you?" Logan nodded, smiling faintly. "Yes, it was me. I went undercover to understand more about our company's culture, to see how we treat the people who often go unnoticed." He paused, letting the words sink in, then continued. "During the week, I saw many things, some good, others that need improvement. But what stood out the most was the kindness you showed me without expecting anything in return. The coffee, your words, your ability to see value in every person. Those moments showed me what Aurora is truly capable of." Kate sat speechless, her hands trembling slightly as she processed his words. Logan opened a folder in front of him and slid a document across the table. "This marks a new chapter for you, Kate," he said, his voice filled with purpose. "The envelope I gave you on Friday contained a hint, but I wanted to tell you in person. I'm promoting you to lead a new initiative called the Aurora Human Project. Your role will focus on creating programs that ensure every employee feels valued and respected, no matter their position." Kate glanced down at the document, her breath catching as she read the title. Team Lead, Aurora Human Project. Along with the promotion came a significant salary increase and a description of responsibilities that reflected a role far beyond what she had ever imagined. I don't even know what to say," Kate said, her voice shaking as tears welled up in her eyes. "Say you'll accept it," Logan replied with a smile. "Because I know you're exactly the right person for the job." Kate laughed through her tears, finally picking up the document. "I accept. Thank you so much." Logan nodded, satisfied. "Just know this project isn't about policies or programs. It's about people. People like you who make a difference every single day." When Kate left the boardroom, her mind was spinning. She hadn't just been given a promotion, she had become part of something far greater. By the end of the day, word of Logan's undercover experiment had spread throughout the company. The impact was immediate. Employees began talking about the CEO who had disguised himself to see the truth and about how one employee's simple act of empathy had reshaped the future of the company. Logan knew that the journey was just beginning. With people like Kate leading the way, Aurora Energy Innovations was poised not just to succeed, but to set an example of what a company with heart could truly accomplish. In the months following Logan's revelation, Aurora Energy Innovations became a symbol of transformation. Logan's experiment not only redefined the company's culture but also inspired tangible changes. A more collaborative work environment, genuine recognition programs, and leadership that was more attuned to everyday challenges. Kate Thompson, now the leader of the Aurora Human Project, became a central figure in the company's evolution. Her practical and empathetic approach was instrumental in fostering a culture where every employee felt seen and heard. The impact went beyond the company's walls. Aurora's model began to be studied and adopted by other organizations, transforming not only the renewable energy industry but also the global perception of what it meant to lead with humanity. As Logan walked through the hallways, greeting familiar and new faces, he realized that his greatest legacy wasn't the company he had built but the people he had empowered. Aurora was no longer just an innovative company. It was a community thriving on empathy and respect. And so, illuminated by a new purpose, everyone there worked not only to transform the future of energy but also to transform the future of human connection.
What did you think of Logan's initiative? Let us know in the comments. From which country are you watching? We'd love to know. Please subscribe to see more stories like this.